Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to my Sound Paint podcast. Sound Paint was a concept I created about 10 years ago with the goal to be rooted in a safe community for musicians seeking music education from an angle of just wanting to explore and enjoy music and sound and grow together in their skill and ability. I also feel very strongly about the connection between art and music. It is my love and passion to read different physics studies and explore the correlation between sound waves and light waves. Light waves, which, when broken down, are basically the colors that we see. I love the idea of approaching writing music with color in mind. That is a huge source of my inspiration when I play. With that in mind, I think you get the reason why I call this project Sound Paint. As we go along, I'll be describing what I'm doing as much as possible for everyone listening in without the video. If you are interested in seeing what I'm doing, as well as listening, you can catch me on YouTube. The link for this episode will be listed below. Or if you yourself are interested in learning music and want to check out any of my music courses online, you can find my website at www.soundpaintacademy.com. I'm always adding new courses, and I'm always open to hearing new ideas for courses that you might like to try out. Hello and happy Saturday, everybody. It's good to be back. It was nice to have a little week off, but during that week, I hope you caught my live interview with Dr. Jason Tram. We had an awesome time. If you want to check that out, you can visit his YouTube channel. The name of the video is Painting with Sound, which was, not gonna brag. That was me. I mean, I didn't pick the title, but Sound Paint. Yeah. So we're gonna do something a little different today than just playing with synths. No, we're gonna play with synths. I'm lying. We're gonna do something. It's a little out there. But we go out there, so that's on par for the course for me. I don't use that term. So it's, in my general direction, you could say. So today, we are going to listen to what a black hole sounds like. I don't know if you've heard this. It's pretty freaky, I'll be honest. So for the faint of heart, you might want to skip this part. It's so basically, there is no sound in space because you need air for sound waves to travel on to be something audibly heard. However, around this black hole, which provided just enough air to hear sound waves, so we can audibly hear what's coming out of a black hole. And like I said, faint of heart, you might want to skip this part. It's creepy. It's super eerie, but we're going to listen to it because it's kind of cool too. So that's what a black hole sounds like. So, thoughts, questions, concerns? I don't know. I bet you all have your theories. I have a couple. They're a little out there. I don't know. It sounds like moaning and kind of like screaming. I don't know. Whatever, we're not going to go there. But what we're going to do today is we're going to play around with sounds that I think that you can hear in this recording. So I went through Arturia's Analog Lab 5 and I picked out a bunch of sounds that I think could contribute to what we have here. Now, I already picked this first one, but I'm going to click on it just so you can see the name because I didn't write the name into the track. Oh, well. Okay, so it's called Exosphere. It's pretty appropriate for what we're doing. Actually, a lot of these sounds I picked were appropriate. I'm going to just kind of sample each one. I think the first one I want to start off with is exosphere, but we're going to jump around a little bit too, so show you a little bit of where I'm chasing. Now, one thing that I hear with that NASA recording is that, and now this is kind of weird to explain because the sounds that you're hearing, now I'm sure that on our basic speakers, you're not even hearing the full extent of what is really out there. This is actually really cool. I'm trying to figure out I'm wrapping my mind around how to explain this. So using the technique of adding reverb, you can think of it like reverb is an effect that you layer on top of a sound that gives the impression that where the sound is being generated is in a small or a big or any in-between sized room. So the more reverb you add, the more you could think of it as an effect on the sound that gives you the impression that it's bouncing off the walls. So depending on how long that takes, it'll give you a general idea, just like an impression in your mind of how large the room is. Now, one thing that I noticed with this NASA recording is there is a massive, and I mean, again, only what our own speakers can hear, a massive, massive amount of reverb. But it's funny because it's like not an effect. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know what it's reverberating against, but it's massive. Let's listen to it one more time, just so you get the idea. Just. Massive amount of reverb. This, and I mean, I haven't spent extensive amounts of time on this, but I like this exosphere, atmosphere effect that I found. I think it kind of gives you some of that huge reverb quality. I don't know about pitch though, so we're gonna have to like fish around a little bit. Close your eyes and try to imagine. Now, I'm not going to ask you to do this with the actual NASA sound because it's too scary. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine how big an expanse, if you were audibly hearing this sound and it's a natural environment and it wasn't a synthesizer, imagine the expanse around you of where this sound is reverberating back and forth across. That's what we're going for here with this particular sound. Close your eyes. Cool, right? I'm actually going to try a different note because, I mean, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard years ago, and this is like way before NASA and science and everything has learned what they have in the past decade or so, but this is going back like maybe 10, 15 years ago. I remember hearing a theory that the sound wave, if there was a sound wave in a black hole, it would be reverberating a B flat, and I don't remember where this came from, but it was like a theory that was being thrown around. It would be reverberating a B flat. So I'm gonna try B flat. I'll try the lowest B flat I have. Yeah. Okay, so I like that one for the reverb. Now here's where the creepy part comes in. I heard what sounded like voices. Oh, this one's cool too. Enter the Void. With this one, we get a bit of the reverb. We have a little bit of something like sawtoothy in there, a little grittiness on the high end. But then we get a little bit of like a choir voice, like deep embedded in the envelope. The envelope is the point where you initiate the sound and then as it travels, how it gets to a certain point, and then it kind of changes its sound till it decays out. So at the front end, it's called attack. At the end, it's called decay. In between, there's a sustain, and it can change shape and morph in between. But as this sound envelope morphs towards the end, somewhere in the sustain, I hear like a vocal sound, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Creepy. There's also this like little interval going back and forth in there, which is not something that's in the NASA thing, but I don't know. I think I might go with these two to play with, but I want to show you a couple others real quick. I'm not gonna go crazy here. I gotta scroll up. They were up. Okay. Tokyo Dreams. I think this was one. Wow. Oh, this one's a choir. It's not creepy like the other one. I may actually literally just stick with those two. Oh, this one, Deckard's DX. Blade Runner reference. DX meaning the amazing DX7, the Yamaha. I believe it was also used in Star Trek, The Next Generation. That was a, not this particular sound, but the Yamaha DX7 was used in the opening to that show, which is near and dear to my heart. It gives you that sense of sound, just like a sound wave kind of traveling slowly through space. Like it has mass if sound waves traveled through space. But in this instance, it does. So, in your face, science, was a sadness wave. There's a lot of that massive echo. One finger, 13 sus. Quick explanation of 13th is an interval. So we've talked about an octave before. An octave means if you're starting here, say it's an A, and you count from that A up 8 notes, that's going to be an A an octave higher, or could go lower. It'll be an A an octave lower. A 13th, say here's your A down here, and you count 8 notes up. Okay, here's your octave, here's 8, but then count 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That many notes up. That would be an F, a 13th above an A. So I'm going to play an A. You haven't even heard this sound yet, so here we go. It's a little too pretty, a little too musical. Let's see this one, hollow. There was one now I'm remembering that I want to try to find. Let's try this. That was not it. I'm going to go back up to the top. Too much sawtooth. Slow build. It was good at the start, but then it too much sawtooth again. I love sawtooth, but I don't hear it in the NASA recording so much. Oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Sadness waves. Okay, I'm just going to stick with my original 2. Okay, here we go. Back to exosphere. Exosphere, and the other one I want to do is enter the void. All right, cool. I'm going to add a new MIDI track. I'm going to arm that track. Go back to Analog Lab 5. And we're going to add that other sound to it. I'm not going for like anything identical. I'm really not. I'm just having fun with sound. That's all we ever do, right? So that was Exosphere that we just did. Now let's add Enter the Void, just so you can hear it. Okay. This is gonna be super out there. Just experimenting. All right, cool, cool. Let's record that. All right. I think that was pretty cool. It was probably a lot less scary than the real thing, to be honest, because I know what sounds I'm using to create this. I don't know what sounds were being used to create what we heard on the NASA website. There's this YouTuber that I watch sometimes, or actually my sister sends me often. Actually, my sister gets credit for this idea. She texted me, hey, I think you need to look into this. And I said, hey, I think that's a great idea. So here we are. But anyway, the YouTuber that I watch sometimes, he had said that he was talking about the what we heard on the NASA website, and he said that he believes that there are just some things that it's like, come no further with your science. It's not for you to know. And I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel like I don't want to know. I don't know. Well, anyways, that was fun. I hope I didn't freak you out. I hope that your mind was opened a little bit to the possibilities of what sound can be and how science fits into that, because it absolutely does, and it's in a super cool way. And I don't know, just leave your mind to wonder. So have a fantastic rest of your weekend slash week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.